well...
Is it in-game music, or is it like the DreamHack hype music?
I don't know, it could be just that we're getting ready. We are heading into the map, it seems. We're going to be Mirage for the first game here. Tyloo versus Luminosity. We got China playing Brazil. Finally, you know, the name Global Offensive has actually lived up to the title there. And somebody going to be pushing up in the B apartments, looking for an early battle, and he might be getting just a bit more than he wanted here. They're all coming for him. It's going to be FNX picking up the first kill. DD hiding in the corner, taking down one, but another kill comes in for FNX for helping out. Attacker up on the box. He's already been boosted, and he gets the first kill, but there's just too many players in the bomb site already. And Fancy One going to be going down in the kitchen. A very aggressive, very explosive round coming out of Luminosity, and they're going to be off 1-0 early on here.
Dude, no time wasted at all, and that's got to suck for Tyloo as well, because they made the correct call. They took the risk of stacking 4 players on B early on in the pistol round, assuming that Luminosity would go for a straight B rush. Luminosity did. It's just when it came down to the shots, Tyloo missed them all. So you cannot allow for Luminosity. When you have 4 players sitting on that B site, you can't allow Luminosity to get a man advantage on you, let alone a 2-man advantage, because then it's all over. You start rotating in from that A site, and you're just doomed. So rough start there for Tyloo, but we'll see if they can actually pull it off here.
You sort of wish they had a backup plan for once they made the engagement up there. It's nice damage there with the C-set 75, but FNX is still going to win the fight up in apartments, and this bomb side, don't think it'll last for very long. They do have armor and pistols, and FNX and Fur are a little bit low on health here, but still very hard to retake when you don't really have any grenades left here. It's going to be up to, I think, a mistake on the Brazilian side for this to work out for the Chinese team. They're already rotating 1 player back through T-spawn as well, so that's a play for the afterplan here that's become very popular and still very effective. Taco doing some damage with the SMG, and you see Fallen already preparing for the worst to happen. It's going to be catching them as they roll out. Cold Sierra picking up 2 with the MAC-10, and a lot of money in the pockets here of the terrorist side early on. They only lose 1 player in that attack.
Yeah, it's perfect. And it's also perfect that, in my opinion, Luminosity start on T-side Mirage, because this is really going to be like the nightmare sort of scenario for Tyloo. Luminosity are going to be controlling the pace. They're obviously showing no fear, no respect, and that's exactly what Luminosity want at this point. They want to go crashing into Tyloo, completely destabilize the defense to begin with, and control how this match plays out. Even walking into stacks like no fear, doesn't matter. Taco just goes blasting in there. Double MP7 kill for him. And they're figuring out now that once again they walked into the stat, but Luminosity, they just don't care. They have all the confidence. So they can just walk in there and just power through as if Tyloo weren't even, you know, stacking that site.
I mean, at that point, they don't have that much to lose at that point anyway. What does it matter? Because they're just going to be losing SMGs. They wouldn't be using them the next round anyway. You can see that even the ones they save, they've thrown away. So it is almost a sort of a free investment to just run in there and see if they can't open it up. Now, we're going to be in the 4th round here. We got the AWP picked up on Fallen. Taco extremely quick up catwalk, but he's getting shot actually in the side of the face there. Mo picking up the first kill, and that's a good start now. DD coming in from catwalk, taking down 1 more. It's still a favorable trade here for the Chinese team, but then Cold Sierra comes in with a double of his own, and that makes it a little bit tricky here. 3 on 3. Somebody waiting and actually looks the wrong way at the wrong time. Fur going to be picking up that kill, and a nice shot from Fallen means it's all on Attacker.
Yeah, that was the key kill right there. Somebody, he had to pick up the man coming out of B apartments. Otherwise, it was just going to be an impossible situation for his teammates rotating in. He would have been able to put pressure on Fallen in apartments, and it could have gone well for him from there. But the fact that he, unfortunately, just doesn't manage to connect when the guy comes out means that Luminosity just get control of the B side at that point. Fallen can stay in apartments. He can look towards kitchen. He just remains unmolested, and the rest of them can just continue to, well, get that bomb plant and lock down the round. So, again, Luminosity, we're used to watching them use a kind of slow, you know, measured approach to a round where they feel out the map, they get map controlled, and they execute their strategy. We're just not seeing that from Luminosity right now. Luminosity are just still, you know, applying maximum amount of pressure to Tyloo by just rushing all over the place and looking for fights.
You gotta wonder if this is almost like a sort of a skill test for Luminosity to put out, just to say, we'll just test it. If you put up a fight when we just do this, then we will have to go back to the more tactical style. But if we are just on an individual level, you know, sort of a couple of steps above this, then why not just play this quick and fast, and you won't be able to hang on anyway. And we won't be forced to show anything at all, right? We will no tactics shown, nothing at all. So if it works, then who knows? It's a bit of a shame because that last round did start off pretty well. Tyloo trading 2 for 1 near catwalk. Taco's very aggressive, right, running up there. But as soon as they get that 2 for 1 trade in, you think, all right, they should be able to stabilize, make this work. And then Cold comes in with a double kill. If that doesn't happen, then probably that should have been around for the Chinese side.
And the reason why you think that is because a more experienced team, a team that's a little bit more, that's closer to Luminosity's level, would not give up that kind of advantage. They get that man advantage, and then Luminosity are going to be in the hole. They're going to be the ones having to dig themselves out of it. It's going to be very difficult for them. But that's where you see the difference right now in caliber between these two teams. Luminosity, they just don't care. Cold gets a double kill, and it just opens everything up. And again, just no fear, straight out onto the A site. Different change of pace coming out here from Luminosity, but Attacker from Connector actually managing to put up a fight. Triple kill for him, and he nearly gets the quad. FNX saves him in the end, gets that HE on him. But once again, Luminosity down a man going onto the plant.
That was from beyond the grave as well. FNX picking up that kill now. Fallen taking down Mo. And it's all on DD right now. He's got a 1v2 on his hands. They've got so much time that they're actually going to bring the bomb back into T-spawn right now. And I don't know how you play this. Cold is in the middle as well, which means Fallen can safely run all the way up through apartments. There's really not a lot that he could do right here. No grenades either. This is an almost unwinnable position if you're on the CT side.
And yeah, now Cold is going to have eyes in Connector as well. So if DD tries to peek out, it could get nasty for him. He's still sitting in CT spawn, but it seems like DD's finally starting to catch on that the bomb is not coming A, and he needs to start worrying about that B site. Only problem is he's completely lost control of the situation, because if Luminosity, he's thinking to himself right now, if Luminosity are on that B site, I'm going to be walking right into somebody who's laying in wait for me, and I'm going to die. I give up this rifle. Now at least, bomb gets planted. He's going to confirm that it's not planted on A site, and he has a choice. He has a decision now. Do I try and go for it, or just try and hold on to my rifle for the next round? Yeah, there we go. Gets the AWP. Yeah. And at this point, this is the correct decision. Just back off, hold on to the op, because you guys are still low on money.
And again, what a shame. And, you know, Attacker ending up with, what, 3 kills in the beginning? And he actually gets traded by FNX, who had already died. So that was like, you know, beyond the grave, just reaching out with that HE. And then still they come win the round. That's going to be really concerning, right? Because if one of your players is going to step it up like that, you have to be able to win these rounds. Otherwise, LG are going to walk all over you, which they currently are. This is looking like a very, very strong start here for the major championship winners. Exactly, right? It's the expected start. It's the start that we expected to see. You know, the big turnaround would have been, you know, Tyloo coming out. I mean, well, we almost had the replay there, but I mean, it's just like, this is what's going to make the difference for Tyloo, is that if somebody just goes ham, right? Shows that they have the mechanical skill, that they spend enough time in DM, right, and AMAX, all that sort of stuff, right, to really, you know, be able to land the shots. So given the opportunity, they should step up like that and actually get the triple kill. It's just not quite happening right now. And look at this, clever shot coming out. A little boost to see over the smoke, but it doesn't work this time. Definitely had the idea, and now they've got, what, 4 people stacked in A right now. That's not a very good setup here for Tyloo. They got to be really careful. Fur gonna pick up the first kill. You can see Mo, he desperately wants the refrag. He's seen the shoulder there, but he can't quite connect with a shot, so it is gonna be somebody wrapping up from the other side Connector here with the UMP in hand. It's a good position right now. Could definitely get a quick kill on someone, and they need that. That smoke is just covering, I think it's Fur, who is in that window, and they can't see him. That was so wise, but the timing is gonna work out. Fur's in position to catch out somebody. Luckily, Mo's there to actually get the refrag. But then Luminosity, this allows them to just start calling for the rotate. Minute left on this clock. A little bit of info gain there for Taco trying to get the refrag on the Mo, but he gets tagged down to 41. And now Luminosity, it looks like they want to gather up and hit that A site. Only problem for them is that Tyloo, they're just chilling, man. They've already got 2 guys waiting in a crossfire sort of scenario here on this A site. So if Luminosity come through, it's all going to come down to the shots at this point, because they just don't have utility to make it any easier for themselves. Just about 30 seconds on the clock here, and with that kind of a kill, again, they're in a really strange position right now. Fancy an attacker left and caught out in the open. You could tell the hesitation, the sort of the nervousness there a bit. You know, should we try and rotate? We're not quite committing to it, but we're just going to sort of walk out into the open. There's definitely no time for that. 7-0 right now, favoring Luminosity. I mean, I think sort of, you know, all right, so it's a best of 1 game. That's always going to favor the underdog a little bit. You know, it's just going to play, if there was ever a chance, it'd have to be a best of 1 game and not a best of 3 game. And then I guess the unknown quantity of Tyloo. You know, Luminosity is a team that always improves when they've played a team and lost to them once or twice, right? So, you know, maybe they come out of this, you know, really strong and with a really powerful start. That would help, but obviously that's not what we're seeing right now. And I think, again, it's not down to sort of like any kind of tactics. It's down to just the individual level right here.
It's just that, yeah, Luminosity are not going to give you much space to work with when they have that T side on Mirage. They're really solid on it. It's a perfect map for Luminosity to come out just swinging on, because they can constantly look for these kind of pick battles. Exactly. Look, Taco just going super aggressive in pit. He is about to get rushed down, so this is a little scary for him, but he holds his own, picks up the first. Just going to be DD there with that CZ75, going to pick him off and trade. So now Tyloo actually have a gun to work with, and it's on a man who has Kevlar, so he could look to take a little bit of a fight, DD. But now that Luminosity have got the info, they realize, okay, Taco picked off one, and he got pushed by two. So they know that there's at least 3 guys. There were 3 guys on that A site. So this allows for a little bit more aggression to come out towards that B site.
DD picking up another kill with the stolen AK there. Good shot from Fancy as well. Almost getting that kill, but now he's sort of being isolated a little bit here as Cole picks up one shot, and a spray comes through. DD going to be finally going down all on Fancy, and he can't make it work. Cold Zero to save the day. And another one of these rounds where you think, well, they almost turn it around, don't they? I mean, as soon as they're in that 3v3, you think that should be a winnable position for them, but they were even at the right bomb site. Nothing seems to be working.
Still have to get, and you also see like the difference in experience from these players as well. Instead of stepping out into the open, FNX, all he had to do, he knew that he just had to stay alive, play behind the pillar like that. It allowed for Fallen to be in position behind the van, and it just kept Tyloo pinned down on that B site. Match will resume in 100 seconds. So is this actually a tactical pause, a tactical timeout coming in here from Tyloo, perhaps trying to
that makes sense.
Break the stride here for Luminosity, slow things down a little bit?
I kind of like that. Get a real sense for it. I guess it was 120 seconds to begin with, so it just counts down. A little bit nerve-wracking. Yeah, I'm guessing, yes, what we're dealing with here is a tactical timeout. And you have to assume it's the Chinese. Be pretty BM for Luminosity to take tactical timeout here. It's, you know.
Not everybody's Astralis.
Astralis might do it. I think certain members of Fnatic would do it if they're having a good day, you know. JW, just
oh yeah, dude, Dennis is so
so
pissed about that timeout. Like now, Astralis have made enemies for life out of Fnatic. It's crazy.
Thing is, I say BM, and I actually think it would be hilarious if someone did that. I would fully support that. You know, you're up like 7-8-0. You just take a timeout and you just chill for a bit. You're like,
that's what
feels
it's about,
good to be ahead.
I mean, every time it's always like everybody's like, oh no, we're besties, we're best friends. You know, everybody gets around. You know, we all love each other, right? You know, it's like, no, give us some rivalries. Give us some like where you see each other across the room. You don't talk to each other. You know, you just sit and stare. Right? You mad dog each other. That's what we want here. Some competition. But
could learn something from the fighting game scene.
Yeah,
they have a grand old time.
There's some crazy Salt over there. There's I mean, that's where Salt pretty much came from, the meme, but. Well, we call Salt a meme or more of an expression? I think it's more of an expression, right?
I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on the memes. I have to get someone else in here.
Where's Thorin when you need him?
You say Thorin, I was thinking Destiny, you know.
Yeah, okay. better choice, bro. Better choice.
Well, as we are waiting to get into the game here, as you guys could tell, if you are just joining us, it's a bit of a rough start here for the Chinese team as they are down 8-0 right now. They're having a very, very tough time here. Did end up on Mirage, which is a really good map for the Brazilian side. And look at this. Again, they tried this earlier and they got shut down, actually. Taco, again, with a very aggressive play, rushing in, and that flashbang follow-up Fallen. Going to be taking down DD as well, and it's all going bad right now for the CT side. Fallen in position to catch anyone rotating through. He's going to miss the shot, but just an insane pace that's being put up here by the Brazilian side.
Luminosity is just showing absolutely no respect. Now they know at least that there's a Scar 20 on the map, and Fallen's going to look for that fight. 2 kills going Mo's way, but it doesn't really matter to Luminosity. They have the bomb plant down. They've got mad money on their side, so losing players hunting down this op, not a problem for, or this Scar 20 rather, not a problem for them. But yeah, again, you know, just Luminosity, they're like, okay, you want to pause, you want to time out, you guys are going to talk things over, that's fine, but we're really just actually going to go running straight into you in the end. It's not going to matter to us. It's not going to change our game plan. It's up to you guys to make it happen.
You know, there was discussion going on with some people backstage. Someone was saying that maybe the pronunciation is actually Tianlu instead of Tyloo. Maybe someone can tweet at us and tell us how that works out. I don't know if we would necessarily change it just because we've been calling them Tyloo since 1.6 and all that stuff, so it might be too late, but, you know, just for research purposes, it'd be interesting to know.
That would be the first time I've heard that pronunciation. So, I mean, that would definitely be out there.
I don't know if it's true or not. I could be making things up. Well, somebody holding near the van, but he's going to end up going down. He actually just gets run over by Fur with that AK in hand. And Taco looking for a bit of an opening. And look again how aggressive they're being. Even as they're putting the bomb down, they're still pushing that window and just making it very hard for Tyloo to get out of the kitchen. They're flashing their way in. Taco jumping through. You could tell at this point they just don't give a damn anymore.
That was a sick flash. Fallen in position. Easy shot for him to land on attacker. And man advantage now for Luminosity. Tyloo just desperate to try and get in here and have an impact. DD just goes charging in, but he's got a Molotov, keeping him toasty. Then he walks right into FNX. At this point, Fancy's just thinking, maybe I can get lucky with an exit frag. Maybe they'll let me live. Will they have mercy? But no. Sorry, it just doesn't happen. Looks like we lost DD in the mix. Maybe he's just going to reconnect here before the round runs out. Otherwise, we'll have attack pause, or not attack pause, but a technical pause coming in here to sort that out. Nice little kill. And he is going to be able to survive, actually. So well played there by Fancy One.
So obviously, in this group, if there was a team that was going to be upset, it probably wouldn't be Luminosity, right? And like all of, so you know, I guess in that sense, we could also just look at it and say, well, yes, they are also playing the sort of the monolith team in this group. It is very, very hard for them to do anything about it.
They are the beast, right? That basically, I think everybody coming into this tournament is going to be expecting, you know, with Fnatic dropping out of the tournament because of Olofmeister's wrist, Guardian not attending because of his wrist. I mean, the big point to make is just, okay, it's the perfect conditions here for Luminosity to run a back-to-back kind of, you know, winning streak. Win the major and then come into Malmö and win that too. That's what we all expect from them, basically.
It's super depressing, by the way, obviously, with the situation with Olofmeister, but I think it's super important that he does, like, just chill now.
Dude, nearly ruined my event. Like, when I found that out, I was, like, depressed for the whole day.
Yeah.
Like, Olofmeister and Guardian, I was like, no.
But I think you got to respect that decision as well, right? Just make sure that they take care of themselves. Cause
oh, if he didn't, I'd have kneecapped them or something. I just made sure that he couldn't come to an event.
Yeah, because you could tell they want to as well. They're like, maybe we should, like, no.
No, sorry, bro.
Don't try that.
I know where you live, Olof. I'll come and take the power cable out of your PC.
Yeah, I've run into him in Stockholm a couple of times. Well, look at Fur running into kitchen. A bit of a weird spray to start off with, but he does end up taking out Mo at a 10-0 scoreline here. This tournament is off to a really, really rough start if you were hoping for some Chinese action, which, of course, many people are.
You know, Chinese products, they break pretty quickly, right? Is that the angle we're going with here?
Someone had to go there, Semler. Someone had to. I would have thought it would have been Thorin first, but, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, opportunity presented itself. You gotta run with it sometimes, right?
It's too easy. All right, fair enough.
This is yeah. It's kind of going as we all expected, I think, right now. Just Luminosity up 10-0 on Mirage T side. They aren't going to. This is why we say, you know, when you want to get control of the match, you start T side because you're going to be controlling the pace, and you're really going to put it to the CT side to stop you from doing what you're trying to do. And right now, the game plan for Luminosity has just been show no respect, be ultra aggressive, look for the duels, because we know that the pressure is going to be on Tyloo. There's no pressure on us in this match. You know, we're just going to be going through the motions.
I mean, actually, in some ways, Luminosity came into this best-of-1 game with the sort of mentality that Tyloo should have been having, right? Because when they start off in such a high pace and they just sort of charge everywhere, take fights all over the place, and there's like no real structure to what's going on, it's almost impossible. Like, even if Tyloo had some sort of set defense, something they had practiced and rehearsed for this event, they probably won't be able to use it. Right now, they have to try and adapt on the fly, and everything is chaos, right? You can tell, like, that last round, Fur walking right in and getting the first kill, that's not supposed to happen, right? So I think right now, whatever Tyloo had planned, they're not even getting a chance to show us right now just because Luminosity are being, you know, almost a bit obscure in their way of playing here. But it's a nice push coming in from somebody, getting a second kill as well, stealing the AK, going for a bit of a adventurous pop flash, but it's not going to be working out, and it will be instead Fallen and Fur left in a 2-on-3.
Nice try, though, somebody. At least he had the... I mean, because Fallen was waiting back in T-spawn for that push to come out of apartments, so even when Tyloo are trying to change things up, Luminosity are one step ahead. Only problem is they didn't expect him to continue pushing. Once he'd been spotted, they were expecting him to fall back to the A side, you know, gather that info, and then fall back. Instead, we might actually have Tyloo picking up a round here. It's Fallen in a 1v3, 40 seconds left. And unfortunately for him, the man isn't holding on the B side solid. He's up in B apartments, so this gets really nasty for Fallen. As soon as he gets onto this site, he's going to have to worry about 3 angles. It's going to be a massive crossfire coming in on him.
Shouldn't be able to win this 1v3, but at the same time, they are quite far away. And if they manage to push at the wrong time maybe could be working out Fallen's way. Certainly making a lot of noise up in apartments there. So he has a pretty good clue what's going on. And the two other people are coming in from kitchen here. Not the best angle. They could have maybe tried and sandwich him in 3 different directions, but instead they're all going to be now in one angle. Bomb already being defused. Fallen not able to peek that corner, and he ends up going down. They didn't have a kit, but still, it will finally be around here for the Chinese side, making it 11-1. And a bit of a smile going on there.
There we go. Really well played by the man playing in apartments there. I didn't catch his name. The one who was on the flank eventually, if that was DD or not. But I mean, the fact that he didn't peek into Fallen, he assumed, or he was just going for the fire basically to just draw attention to himself because his 2 teammates were rotating in from kitchen. If he had over-peeked, if he had actually shown himself on short, easy shot for Fallen to hit, and then it's a nightmare for his teammates. So the fact that he stayed alive, that made all the difference.
13th round starts off with Mo picking up a kill, taking down Taco. Bit of a spray coming through there, and we're actually first sneaking through the edge of the smoke on the ramp into A bomb side, which is also, you know, again, one of these plays you would only really make if you feel supremely confident in what you're doing, right? And at 11-1, they can afford to make this kind of stuff happen.
Yeah, at this point, Luminosity are feeling pretty comfy. Like, we'd expect them to be feeling pretty comfy if they get 6 rounds on T side. The fact that they're nearly doubling that right now is a pretty solid scoreline for them, no doubt about it. Smoke is going to go up, Fallen peeking, looking to get the refrag. And Tyloo, they're playing this correctly. They're hanging back. So it's a man advantage for them, and they aren't giving Luminosity any freebies here. They aren't really peeking aggressively. Although, as I say that, nice shot. Mo, that was sick. Catches Fallen out. That was the big opportunity there for Luminosity to bring it back, because it looked like Fallen had the angle on Mo, but Mo able to pull the trigger first.
40 seconds left. You could see a little bit of tension there. Mo almost tempted to shoot a couple of his teammates, and in the meantime, Luminosity making their way into ladder room, going to be taking out Attacker, and that means they could walk into the B bomb side, even if they'd be shot in the back. Oh, a bit of a jump coming through, and that's a bit too much with the new hitboxes and everything. That'll get you killed. 15 seconds left now.
Do they check Shadow? That's what it's all about here for Luminosity. They are trying to be thorough and look for the angles, but the man dropping the bomb. Gonna get out. 8 seconds left, and they do have time to pick up that bomb, and they will be able to plant for the courtyard as well, but the man is on short, going for the shoulder peek, and Fire will not succeed in getting the bomb plant. Somebody there to save the day, and it's gonna be cold here with that AWP. Even survives the round. So he holds on to that op, could pass that over to Fallen if he wants, but of course Fallen has more than enough money to go for a rebuy of his own. Shouldn't be an issue. But Tyloo getting back-to-back rounds. This is big. 2 rounds in a row for them.
Well, yeah, but you see in that round what part of the problem is. They're off to such a good start, and it's still shaky. Like, it seems like at any moment, any one member of Luminosity could just step up and get a couple of kills, and that will change the outcome of the round, no matter how it started. So they really, really got to keep their focus here. I mean, as soon as they have an edge, everyone has got to really step it up. Actually looked like that shot went between Fur's legs, so that's a bit ridiculous, but either way, it's going to be Luminosity starting off strong. Fur picking up a second shot there. Attacker going to be going down, and a bit awkward, almost taking out Fancy One as well, playing over by Catwalk.
Fur will find somebody. That was out in connector, and now they're split defense, basically. One on the B site. Well, never mind. Fancy gets caught. That's by FNX, and now, well, Luminosity, they have everything they need. The bomb is back in T-spawn, but they have a minute left to go and pick it up, and it actually seems like right now they're just looking for DD. They haven't even started. Taco, you're going to have to go and get that bomb eventually, man. I think they're just, like, so confident they're going to find him. They aren't even really worried about it. With this much time on the clock, it hasn't even begun, and Fur, it's as if he senses it. It's like a shark. Smells
Get eye thing going on.
Yeah, man. There's a disturbance lurking behind that box. Fur not going to get caught out. Yeah, this is just rough for Tyloo. You're looking at me like, oh yes, Settler, it is obvious that it is rough. I'm like, what can we really say apart from the fact that, you know, Luminosity are just outclassing Tyloo on every front right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a brutal start to the tournament. 12-2, trying to push into the A-bomb site where there is a big stack going on. 4 members of Tyloo were here. Cold Zero going to be refragging. Taco did go down. Attacker will fall, and it's looking good right now for the Brazilian side once again. Fancy One doing some pretty good job work here. Actually getting 3 kills with that SMG, all headshots. And now it's all on FNX. The bomb is in the site, so he has to win this battle against somebody Who's up on the box there. Bit of an off angle, and it's going to be the last round going in favor of Tyloo, making it 3-12. So they pick up a little bit at the end here. Still such a long way to go. You got to think, I mean, you look at Luminosity, they're not worried at all.
No. I'm actually a little surprised. FNX is, you know, pretty much like the man you want to be the last one alive for Luminosity.
Oh.
Can you guys hear me still?
There we go.
Yeah, there we are. Okay. So, I mean, FNX, you know, not often that we actually see him lose a clutch, so maybe that's why he's looking a little depressed. He's like, man.
I wanted that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, man. I should have had that one. Should have been 13-2 for VP. You know, Dignitas definitely taking a beating on this one, man.
You gotta, I mean, again, I actually do think it hurts a team like Luminosity. You gotta think, if you're Luminosity and you've been watching, sorry, if you're Tyloo, you've been watching the Luminosity demos. You know what you could expect. I mean, you probably expect this map to come up. You know what the video process is probably going to be like. You end up on this map, you've done all the research. Then they come in, they don't play anything like they normally do, like you were pointing out. They play a much faster pace, and you're playing on the CT side, which means it's very hard for you to control what the pace will be like, because you obviously have to do some sort of like standard setup, right? And maybe that's the one thing we could sort of fault them for here, is this, maybe after the first 5 rounds, they should have realized this playbook that we have, just toss it out the window, and let's just try anything at this. Anything is a good idea. Apart from just saying, you know, oh, let's put like one window, 2A, 2B, see if it works, because obviously Luminosity don't care about that anymore.
I will give them one thing though. Tyloo, they were really good at calling the stacks right. All right, pistol round, they got that right. You know, follow up on the 3rd round, they got that right with the stack on A. This time around, stack on A, they got that. I mean, their stacks have been pretty on point. So they're like, when Luminosity are going to be just, you know, focusing on one site and rushing one site, like Tyloo have been, you know, on point there. It just seems like, again, they aren't able to capitalize on those correct decisions. It's just they get overrun. That last round happened because of Fancy One just going ham, right? Just getting the triple kill and making it possible to turn into a 1v1 situation. So that's really what, you know, Tyloo are counting on right now. It's like, okay, not only do we get the right call, but then somebody has to just go, you know, above what is required of them. You know, they need to get 3 kills or 4 kills, you know, really make it something that's not going to be able to happen every round consistently.
Sort of see there's a lot of conversation going on the Tyloo side there.
Trying to figure out, I suppose, like what, I mean, yeah, it comes back to what you were saying though, right, Anders? It's just like, okay, we watched the demos, we kind of know what they're going to do, right? But now, you know, how are they going to handle the CT side? Are they just going to try and push us mid? Are they going to really go aggressive, like push into pit with the flash, something along those lines from Luminosity, where it's just like, yeah, we just aren't going to let you play your game at all?
You got to have, I mean, at this point, you got to have a feeling that it's kind of too late anyway, right? I mean, I actually almost wish they had started T-side just so they would have had a chance to show us, you know,
a little bit of their T-side action.
Yeah, you know, if we get to cut loose, then can we put up a good fight here?
I mean, this is still, I mean, granted, this is truly a global event now. I mean, we have the Chinese team here, we have the South American teams here, we have, you know, CLG and Liquid that are here from North America, and of course all the European teams. So this is sick, but it also shows, you know, the gulf that separates, you know, the very best right now, the top 3 teams in the world versus, you know, the rest. You know, even coming from elsewhere in the world, it's just this huge difference in skill that we're witnessing, you know, that makes the difference between, you know, a team that can actually win a tournament versus, you know, one of the up-and-coming teams that are still, you know, lacking quite a bit of LAN experience, you know, on the international stage. So, I mean, Tyloo now, it's their time to shine. B-site, seems like that's where they're going to be going with this pistol round, but it is that T-side pistol round here for Tyloo, and we have to see if they're going to be able to just go crashing into the Luminosity defense, because Luminosity have actually, surprisingly enough, gone for a very standard kind of approach to things. 2 guys holding on the B side, FNX peeking around in mid to see if he can catch somebody out, and then 2 holding on that A site.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a reasonable setup. Why try and prolong the game by doing something crazy? Just play your normal game here on the CT side and close this game out 16-3. That must be the plan. Get an early break if you're on Luminosity's side. Make sure you're focused for some of the other teams in the group that are arguably going to be a little bit more tricky in the best of 1. Cold is pushing up, and almost a replay of what happened in the first pistol round. Good flash coming in from Taco there, and actually blinds 2 people, and just a quick trade. Cold coming in with 2 headshots, and he can't get the 3rd one in. FNX is there, though, and he actually picks up a shot. Almost gets returned as well. It's a 2-1-3, and the bomb is still not down. Yeah, nice shot from Fancy One, though. Instant headshot on FNX. And it is going to be the 2-on-2 retake now. Fallen, he's got the kit. And Fur got the Kevlar, but Fallen steps in. It's actually Fur to find the headshot, coming in from short. So a perfect crossfire sort of scenario here. Bomb has not been planted, and it's the
worst case scenario. It's all going to come down to the shots now. And Fallen, he doesn't have Kevlar, and Mo's going to take advantage of it. Takes the fight straight up with him, and due to the lack of Kevlar, that aim punch, you guys can see it. Fallen's shot's kind of going wide at the end. It worked out perfectly. Even though, going into it looked like Luminosity had a massive edge. They had 2 angles coming in onto that site. As you guys saw, like Fallen drawing the attention to himself, you know, towards Kitchen, but then Fur coming up on short. You would think that Luminosity would just be able to keep catching the Tyloo players off guard. You know, you have to worry about 2 angles at that point if you're on the T side.
Also, that and also the original setup between Cold and Taco, that looked so good, but it came down to Cold picking up 2 headshots. Taco really didn't do anything. I mean, he did the flashbang, right? Yeah. But I feel like they should have been able to do more there. But they have pistol and armor here, and again, I think
just seemed a little unlucky to me, because if you noticed, Cold got the kill on the guy that Taco was aiming at.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that Taco got the headshots. I was like, oh, he got 1 for 1. You know, that's all right in the rush scenario. Like. So, you know, a little bit of an unlucky break there for Taco that they happen to be aiming at the same guy.
Stolen there at the end. Yeah, that's true.
Taco's just like, what? My stats. Thor's going to wreck me now.
Someone has to be that person on the team, right? There has to be a Taco, there has to be an Adren, has to be these people. Otherwise, how can we make it work? Well, Fancy just on the slope making a bit of noise, and it seems to be working because there's 4 people in the A-bomb side still for Luminosity, while the rest of Tyloo pushing into the B-bomb side, and a quick trade there is going to pretty much secure them around. I don't see Luminosity trying to retake it. I mean, they could try, but I don't see them doing too much without the kit here, unless Tyloo are just going to feed it to them. Yeah,
unless they keep repeaking like that. Nice shot coming in from FNX, the 1D coming into play. Now they have an MP7 on Fur. And while the push begins, nicely done by Attacker. He takes the fight straight up, and it's going to be a triple spray for him. They all walk right into the blender. Mo takes the peek on FNX, who's obviously focused on bench, and it's a very easy lockdown in the end. Very well done there by Attacker. So Tyloo showing that they're capable here, at least of hitting that B site. 2 rounds in a row, straight onto B, and they get the job done. This time it was only Taco. Taco did a bit better than the last round. He was able to trade 1 for 1, but a solid hold coming in from Tyloo, and now that's going to put Luminosity on a hard eco in preparation for the next round.
So bringing it back now just a little bit. I mean, at least they're being given a shot here at actually doing something. 12-5, Attacker trying to check that corner by the van. He's going to be successful in that, but Taco in the sight here, USPS in hand. He's going to get the knife out. He stabs him. DD is going to be down. Attacker turning around and avenging his fallen teammate with the MAC-10. And it's going to be somebody coming up with the UMP to take down Fallen and Fur. Going for a really long rotate back there. At least we had the knife kill, Semler.
You mad? Because I'm not. Like, Taco going for the knife for me now, you know, after how salty he got when he got knifed. That's always just going to rub me the wrong way. I'm just going to be like, Taco, should you be knifing, bro? But yeah, whatever. Land, yeah, go for it. He did it on land.
You know, again, I think it speaks a little bit to Luminosity's sort of frame of mind here, that they're feeling so confident at the moment.
Just giving 0 respect, even in these sorts of rounds. That was really well played by Taco as well. I mean, it's just unfortunate that Tyloo, they weren't thorough enough to check that angle. They just go walking past, and it plays out perfectly for Taco. Last man alive was FNX, but Mo will catch him out at top mid. And 3 rounds in a row picked up here for Tyloo to start off their T side, which is very solid work indeed. Now we have to see that if Luminosity are going to be able to hold them off, now that they're going to have their rifles, and we'll see if Fallen actually manages money well. Usually he does prioritize that op, so he should have it going into the first buy round. And yes, he will. Glass cannon, so it's not ideal, but still, he has the op, and Luminosity, the rest of them have the rifles. I mean, we have to point it out as well that for Taco, it makes a big difference to get that knife round. As you guys can see, thanks to the knife, he got $1,500 bonus dollars, and basically it means that he's the only guy on the team that can full buy, that has all the nades, has the kit, has the Kevlar. So, I mean, it does make a difference. It is worth going for the knife when you can. You know, don't think about the fifis too much.
FNX close to the middle. Great flash coming through from Tyloo there. Attacker with an easy shot on FNX, and that's a big opening. Look at Fallen here. His teammates are going to be sewn out by smoke grenades. He's going to have to get these kills all on his own, and he's already low. Fancy not giving him any chance. He actually jumped up on the box to get that shot, and that's a great start here. Tyloo making things interesting now at, well, it's obviously going to be 12-7 here. You can see Luminosity, they're not even going to try for the retake yet. They're just looking for exit kills. Wow.
That was perfect, man. The pop flash into connector to catch out FNX. Taco will get the double spray in the end. Somebody in Fancy just running with their knives out, not expecting him to be lurking in T-spawn. But that was, I mean, this is great from Tyloo. It shows that they're able to just, reset themselves, because to go out with an ultra-aggressive kind of strat, just straight out onto the A site, a little bit of delay, obviously, because they took over connector first, and Fallen missing the key shot on the man pushing out from pit. But once they located Fallen, they showed no fear. They ran straight at him and got that kill. Didn't allow him to start, getting the momentum to shift his way, where he picks up one kill and then he's able to kind of dart around and buy time for the rotate to come in. No, Tyloo gave him no chance. They just barreled in on him, got control of CT, and from there on out, there wasn't really much Luminosity could do about it.
Interesting. I mean, you look at the first half and how that went. You think this game would be over by now, but now there's 5 rounds separating the two teams, and Luminosity, because they saved the 3 rifles, they can put a buy together, but otherwise they'd be ecoing right now. They've got to be really careful here. Fallen pushing close to the ramp, looking for the first shot, and he's going to get it with the FAMAS, taking down Attacker. There's another trade coming in. Fur picking up somebody, but it's still a 3-on-3.
They're getting a little greedy there with the flash, Fallen. They just continue to push. Tyloo all grouped up, and once again, Tyloo, 3 players survive, and they're here on the A side, ready to go. Luminosity now, if they can pick up if they can find somebody out of position here within the next 10 seconds, this retake should be happening for him. Cold gonna double up. Looks like he's setting up for that pop flash. Doesn't quite pull the trigger, but now Taco turns, gets in. They clear out this part, but a smoke is there waiting for him. So still, Luminosity, they're just still waiting to see if they can catch somebody out of position here, but they're running out of time on this.
They really are, because Fur's already low. It's going to be a bit of a problem. Taco with a good opening, though, taking down Fancy. It's still DD and Mo left, and there's not much time on this bomb. They're going to have to get this defused in quick. Cold picking up one shot there, and the bomb is being defused behind the box. They just couldn't stop it. Mo, he picks up 2 after the fact, which is just a bit too late there. And that was all down to the plant position. They were planting the safe plant, and the retake is just so much stronger once you're behind that box.
That was just... Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I wasn't aware of how poorly the bomb was planted there. Like, the 2 of the players from Tyloo couldn't actually do anything about it. They couldn't actually get in position to deny that defuse. So that's really unfortunate for Tyloo, because they lose one of them. That's fine, because the bomb is still ticking. With so little time, Luminosity are going to be feeling the pressure. They're going to need to put one guy on that defuse, so then it makes it a little bit more even for Tyloo. But the fact that the bomb was just so out of whack, that's horrible. Now Taco, look at this.
Is this really a one-way? Is this really happening?
It's not a one-way, but I guess he's expecting them to just, like, walk right past him or something?
You could see where the frame of the window is. I'm wondering if you can see movement through that.
That would be the next level. Oh, as it clears.
As it clears, yeah, you usually can. That flash is a bit interesting. That actually popped off the side, so a bit of a mistake there. I think Taco's still picking up a kill, and Cold going to be taking one down, second one as well, before they finally trade him. So 2 versus 3. And Tyloo, they can't lose this round. They have to keep going, otherwise it's going to end really badly. Fallen strafing into that and getting the kill. Bomb is not planted. And Fancy one in a 1-on-3, and he's going to get the first headshot there, taking out first. Still another 2 to go. This would be a really good clutch for him to manage, but they're just going to be double peeking him. Almost the same angle. Fallen to get the kill. It's going to be 14 rounds for Luminosity.
That was still sick, though. He gets the instant headshot on FNX. What a shot.
Yeah.
If Luminosity weren't doubled up, there was a real chance there for Fancy one. And, like the analyst Desk was saying, a lot of eyes are going to be on him as the heavy hitter here on this team.
Yeah.
So Thorin, saying, basically, I believe it was Thorin, unless it was YNK, but one of them was saying, like, unless Fancy one turns up, this should be a very one-sided affair. But at least Fancy one showing that in the clutch, he can do some damage. That was a very close call. But nicely done there by Luminosity, stacking up both. Now, while Tyloo, this is where their backs are to the wall. They can afford 3 rifles, an SMG, and a pistol. And yeah, Luminosity, they know that they're going to be under some duress here, Tyloo. But what is this from FNX? No flash, nothing to help him out. He just goes charging in.
Yeah, that was a wild maneuver. You gotta wonder, because they had 2 people behind him, and they have flashbangs as well. So, I mean, obviously you can try and catch someone off guard by doing that, but that's a big risk. And Tyloo essentially getting sort of a free entry there. They're gonna be excited about that. And because it happened so early on, they've got so much time to rotate around the map. Why wouldn't they just change it up a bit?
Tyloo need to calm down right now. That was for a moment there, you were seeing them milling around a little bit, indecisive as to where they wanted to go. Seems like they will wind up in B apartments, but it took them a little bit of time to put this play together. So they need to calm down, make sure that communication is staying crisp and clean. That they're focused right now on this B site. Taco holding on short, so he's changed up his position. He's there to support Cold, who's actually trying to take a look into mid. But this should be like a retake sort of scenario. Unless Taco can pick up one here, just give his team some kind of edge. make it even here. A 4-on-4 would be perfect, but they're just peeking out, just keep getting the information. What was that from DD? Taco getting a double kill. How did that happen? He shouldn't have been able to actually pull that off.
No, and Cole taking out Fancy as well. Now it's down to Attacker and Mo, and Taco just doing even more work here for the triple kill. Now it's just down to Attacker. 1-on-3. That bomb is nowhere near close enough, and it's a pretty good spray, but it's not going to be good enough. It will be LG winning the round here. And I think you could tell because they knew where Taco was, and initially some of the players were sort of trying to dodge him, right? But then, I mean, either everyone ignores him or just 3 people peek him all at once. You know, it has to be one or the other. And they chose some sort of middle ground in that play. Like, look at this, like...
Yeah, he just stands... It looks like he forgets that Taco's there.
It's really... They must have known because he was taking shots at them.
Or they were just expecting him to back off and not actually be holding on the side. I don't know, but bit of an odd situation there because DD was looking towards Kitchen, so just no chance for him to reply to try and, get a return kill at all. Or just take the duel even. Very odd turn of events there. And now Luminosity are the ones who are actually just going to go charging up. Again, straight lack of respect from Luminosity. They just want to end this at this point. Push up to mid. They're not going to see anybody there. So now they have to know it's either B or A. They're on the extremities right now, Tyloo. And is it? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Right on the edge.
It was more obvious this time. Fallen with a nice shot, picking somebody out of the air. That's a grenade follow-up there, taking down DD, and it looks like it's going to be really bad here for Tyloo. They are trying to make their way through, and Mo will be taking down Fallen. It's still a 3-on-3. But Fur is coming up from behind. That bomb is going down, and it's going to be completed as well. But Fur, he should be able to get the quick refrag here, and that's going to happen as well. Can they actually manage to smoke them out? There's the smoke grenade follow-up. Oh, Mo almost getting killed by that. And now a 2-on-2 with the bomb down.
FNX and Fur, it comes down to how they want to play this. They've got the flash on Fur. So he could try and set up with the flash. He's just trying to watch to see where the push is going to come through. 1v1 now. And there's the flash, but he's running out of time. He's actually just charging in, looking for the fight, and he will get it in the end. He has the kit. He has the time for the defuse, and Luminosity will be winning this first map of the tournament, 16-7. So a dominant performance coming in from Luminosity, exactly what we expected to see from them. But we have to give it to Tyloo. They did show some fight at the end. They didn't just roll over and die and give up. They did actually get some rounds on the board on their T side.
For sure, and I mean, so in the second half here, it ends 4-3 essentially, I think, with Tyloo winning the first 4 rounds, and then they lost 3 in a row to lose the match. But so if they had started T side, we would have seen, a 4-3 beginning. Would have been like, all right, that's a pretty good T side, against Luminosity. They get 4 rounds early on, things are looking a little bit smooth. Some close 1v1s at the end here as well. Yeah, I think starting CT side and they weren't prepared for the pressure and the speed that Luminosity came out of this game with, and that was too much to handle.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. It gives me hope for Tyloo actually going into the rest of this group because, yeah, that was the beast of the group, first seed in the group, so you know that it's going to be a rough time for you starting off against them. But going up against the rest of them, I mean, it seems like Tyloo, if now they should be feeling a little bit warmed up. They should be feeling like, okay, we kind of got the measure of our opponents here. We're feeling a little bit, how it is to play on this land setting in Europe, halfway across the world, maybe dealing with jet lag, right? So they're getting their brains into it. Now, going into the next match, it could get really fun. But I think we have an interview ready with Smix, so we'll hear, who she picked up, probably Fallen, from Luminosity, what he has to say.
You're absolutely correct, Semler. I am here with Fallen. First of all, congratulations. Obviously, it always feels good to start off your first match of a tournament with a win. So what are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, the game was pretty good for us. We played Mirage, it's a good map from us, and they had a pretty shake start. I think we managed to win the pistol round, but they studied us. You could see on the pistol round they had a lot of guys on B. We managed to go B a lot of times on Mirage, so I think they had a good plan. But I think we're hitting our shots better than them at the beginning. But they start catching up later and start to begin becoming a little difficult.
Well, how is Luminosity feeling in general? I caught a glimpse of you guys prior to your match. You Fallen, you were singing. Everyone seemed like they were in a really good mood. So condition-wise, are you guys feeling pretty prepped for this tournament?
Yeah, we're just the same. I see some people commenting that we need to win this tournament because other teams are not here, like Fnatic and Guardian's not here. But for us, it's always like the same thing. Even if we won the last one, we want to win again. And we have been practicing hard, as we always do on the boot camp. So it's good to start with a good win because we want to do pretty well in this tournament.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because as you just mentioned, a lot of people are now eyeing you guys even harder as you guys are the current champions. And a lot of people are wondering, how do you maintain that sort of motivation to keep winning? That's why people are so amazed with Fnatic that they are able to keep winning over and over. So personally for you guys, you mentioned that you're still hungry for another victory, but how do you keep that sort of motivation and hunger going?
Yeah, it's important to be humble and understand that winning one tournament doesn't make you the best in the world. And you need to stay hungry and looking for more tournaments. We have the right mentality, and this game was just the start for us. We need to play against eSports or Liquid, and both of them we had very difficult matches in the past, so we need to stay very focused. And for Tyloo, I think they have a great team, and they're just starting. We're starting to see teams from Asia to play right now, and it's beautiful to see a lot other regions coming to play Counter-Strike, and that's amazing. And congratulations to their team. They're a very strong team, and I think with more tournaments and with more opportunities and coming up to these big tournaments, they're going to improve and start doing way better.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And you just actually touched on Liquid and Mousesports, and you have played both of them. Obviously, everyone remembers that series you had with Liquid at MLG Columbus. It was so close. And with Mousesports as well, you've played them twice in really, really close series. I think you won one 16-13, and then the other time you lost 14-16. Extremely, extremely close series. So both of those teams, as you've mentioned, you've played extremely close series. Do you have a team you're leaning towards?
Yeah, I don't know. Being honest, both matches gonna be difficult. Even if we play Moles or Liquid, we for sure gonna be watching their match right now. I think they're the next one to play, right? So I don't wanna pick any of them. I'll be cheering for the guys from Liquid just because they're from North America and we compete there as well. But eSports have a big chance on beating it as well. So there's no favorite, in my opinion.
So if Liquid is the team that comes out on top, and if you do end up facing them again, are we going to see an exciting 15-6 comeback again?
Yeah, I hope not. I hope we don't have to come back like we did on the last tournament. It was crazy to win like this, and we better win more convincingly this time, I guess.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Fallen. Congratulations again. We are going to head to a short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have Machine and the boys break down that first map.